Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a couple of days since I last posted a video, so I am back. And today's video is a books that you have to read / book recommendations, and I do have quite a few books from a range of different genres and levels, depending on what you're feeling like. And these books are some of my absolute favorite books that I reread all the time, so I just really wanted to share them with you guys and hopefully inspire some of you and maybe give you guys some ideas on what you should read next. So let's get right into it. Okay, so our first book is a book that I read when I was about 12 years old, and it is a realistic fiction. Fault in Our Stars. And I tell you, this book, it's been my favorite book since I was 12 years old, and not sure whether a 12-year-old should be reading this, maybe not, but this is when the movie came out, and I loved Ansel Elgort when I was a kid, and this book has everything that I wanted. Like, it's a realistic fiction, and it follows a girl named Hazel who has thyroid cancer, and she meets a boy at a support group, and his name is Gus, and essentially they spark a friendship that turns into the most beautiful love story and relationship. And it's a really easy, quick read, gets you in your feels, has a really good vibe. Like, it's a very vibey book, and you've probably seen the movie actually, so pick up the book. You can tell it's loved because the pages are like turning a little yellow. Like, that's how loved this book is, and we'll continue to love it, and I would really like everyone to read it and everyone to love it as much as I do. So yes, that is my first book. The second book is also a romance realistic fiction. I don't know how realistic this one is, but it's The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. It was a really overhyped TikTok book, right? So I picked it up with about zero expectations. It exceeded everything that I could have possibly wanted for a book. I am not a huge fan of these kind of books, and this was one of the good ones, guys. I just don't know what else to say about it. It follows a girl named Olive, and she is a PhD candidate, and she meets this guy named Adam who's also like a supervisor, and it's got a fake dating trope, which if you read it, you can find out more about it. But I love fake dating. I love it. In books, fake dating is great. And this was good without being too cheesy. I like that it didn't have an overload of spicy scenes. Just one, maybe two. And it wasn't too bad, you know. And the story itself is really good. I really liked it. I mean, I can't say the same for other Ali Hazelwood books which I've tried to read, Love on the Brain, but this is, read it, please. You probably have, but if you haven't, it's time to pick this up, guys. Gotta get it, okay? It's good. It's really easy, lighthearted. It gives me early 2000s rom-com vibes, which is my favorite aesthetic of all time. So please pick it up, read it, love it, and tell me all about it. Yes. Next, we will head into a different genre. vampires. You already know what I'm gonna tell you. You already know what I'm gonna show you, and it's gonna be controversial, but I don't care. Like, Twilight. There are two types of people in this world. Those that hate on Twilight and those that love it with a deep passion. You can tell which one I am. I was late to the Twilight game. I read Twilight when I was in 8th grade, so in 2016, and amazing. Mind you, I read all the books before I even watched anything of the movies, which is why I'm biased towards the books. Except for the first movie. The first movie is... and then okay, we won't talk about them. But the books, oh, amazing. I loved it. Such a good, easy, quick read, and I love vampires. I don't know about you, but if you found my channel, I'm going to assume you love vampires, because what's there not to like? Literally, what is there not to like? Vampires are... yeah. If you, for some reason, don't know the plot of Twilight, this girl named Bella moves to a town, and in this town there is a lot of eerie, creepy shit that goes down, and there is this family called the Cullen family, and they're all vampires, and essentially she gets whisked into this world of vampires and werewolves, and yeah. And it's kind of a romance. It is a romance, but not like a cringy... okay, it is cringe. It's kind of creepy as well, but it's a romantic vampire book. I feel like I'm not selling this very well, but if you haven't read it and you've only watched the movies, or you've only heard all those shitty things people have said about it, please just read the book. Read the book and then come back to me and tell me that you don't like it still, because I will be very surprised. When I was in high school, I did an entire English project based on the Twilight series. That's how dedicated I was. So please read it. Just go to your local thrift store or op shop. They will have the entire Twilight series, I promise you. Buy the whole thing for about $5 and sit down and read all of them. Please do that. I promise you won't regret it. Unless you don't like vampires, then maybe it's not for you. Okay, next book. The next series is one that I first read when I was 12 years old as well, but it lives on, okay? It lives on. This genre and this series, okay, don't even. It's the Divergent series. I love this more than the Hunger Games series. I was a Hunger Games girly, but I was definitely more of a Divergent girly. The genre for these books are post-apocalyptic sci-fi. Don't let the sci-fi scare you. It is literally about the Earth, essentially, after an apocalypse, and society is now divided into factions, and your faction is kind of dependent on your personality, and they have a set of rules and a set of ways that they live in each faction. And then there are the Divergents, who are people that don't fit in any faction because they belong to more than one or all of the factions. And this follows our main character, Triss, who leaves her family's faction to join Dauntless, which is a dangerous, thrill-seeking Slytherin of the factions. And she meets a guy named Four, and they do cool stuff together, and they fight, and it's like a revolution kind of book as well. Very similar to the Hunger Games in that sense, that it's kind of like chosen one, main character, face of rebellion, but it's amazing. Like, you know, similar to The Fault in Our Stars, you can tell how much I love these books because they are beginning to yellow. I have the original covers. It doesn't get better than this. Okay, the original covers from 2014. And yes, please read this. It's young adult fiction, and the books are all really short, so I have faith that you will be able to get through it. And they're amazing. Like, I just don't know what else to say about it. You've probably seen the movie. I'm assuming you have. Maybe I'm the only one that has, because apparently they flopped. But the movie is a good place to start as well. But I will say that the books are a lot better than the movie because I read the books first. Also, Theo James is in the movies, which is can be quite the motivating factor for some people. So please read the books. They're amazing, and it's a good switch up for genres if you're looking to read something new and fresh that is not your ordinary romance or fantasy genre. This is kind of in the middle. So yes, if you loved Hunger Games and Maze Runner, you will love this because this is the vibe. So yes, that I can't emphasize enough how much I love this series, just like everything else that I have around me right now. The next, second last series slash books is a manga, and I only picked these up this year, but it's my first time reading a comic series slash Japanese comic series, and Spy Family. It's so good. It does take a bit of time to adjust to reading in the opposite direction, but once you like start doing it, it becomes second nature, and it's so good. It reminds me of like a Mission Impossible slash, I don't know if you've seen the movie We're the Millers, but it kind of gives me that vibe where a guy is forced to create a fake family to complete a mission. Except for this mission is not drug related. It's spy related, and it's so good. Please read it. It's really popular right now as well, so your local library will have it and your local bookstore will have it, so go and pick it up and read it, because, and I mean collecting them, because this is one of the most beautiful like covers I've seen for manga or anime. No, manga, not anime. And like it's so pretty, like really nice for collecting. And a upside is a lot of the times manga have about over 100 volumes, which was really intimidating to me when I wanted to get into it. And I found this series, and there's only I think 8 or 9, so you can really collect them or like start reading them without feeling pressured to read all of them. Like my brother started reading Naruto and couldn't be me. Like I would not be able to finish any volumes knowing that there was like 70 something volumes for me to read. So read this, guys, read this. Finally, the absolute best for last, the pinnacle of my bookworm reading journey was picking up this book when I was in high school. Okay, let me show you. Everyone on BookTube and BookTok and a Bookstagram already knows about this. You will know about it, but I doubt all of you have read it. You know what I mean? I can't even. I love this series so much. This is the Akata series, the A Court of Thorns and Roses. This book gives me such good vibes, honestly. This is fantasy, this is high fantasy. If you're looking to get into the fantasy genre and you are an adult, because this is an adult fiction, I definitely recommend this to you. It is such a good segue into the genre. It is very light in the sense that there's not too much politics or crazy stuff happening in the first one. It's a very fairy tale-esque vibe, which is really nice. Anyway, we follow our main character called Feyre, and she's immortal. She lives in the land of the humans, and there is a border. And one day a very large wolf of sorts enters the mortal realm and tries to attack her and her family, and she kills it. And essentially it was a fae. This is all at the back, by the way, so I'm not spoiling anything. And then she is essentially whisked away into the fae world. It's called Prithian. And she's whisked away and forced to live with a High Lord because she killed one of his soldiers or guards. How do I explain it without being cheesy? Because it seems like I'm just hyping it up because everyone is hyping it up. But I read this book in 2017, which is before it became this huge thing in the book community. I read it when they had the original covers back in my school library. The original covers, and then I purchased these again a couple of years ago because I reread them. I've reread the series like 3 times. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And you will meet a character that you will fall in love with. You will fall in love with this character, I promise you. It's just, there's just so many things. I can't explain it without spoiling it, but I absolutely, from the bottom of my very, very heart, promise you that if you read this trilogy, it will not only ruin you, and it will be the only thing you think about for the entirety of your read. You will not regret it. You will thank me, actually. You will thank me because, man, doesn't get better than this. I put my best friend onto, well, one of my friends put me onto this when I was, you know, back then looking for something to read. And this year I put my best friend on this book because she was looking to get into reading, and I was like, read it. And she started reading it, and I'm so happy because she loves it. And I want to play a part in helping you guys enjoy this series as much as I did, because it is amazing. Sarah J. Maas, despite the hate she gets, which I believe is completely uncalled for, because I love her writing, I really do. And you might see some negative things about this book series that says it's too spicy and you only read it for the spice, and I promise you that's not the truth. There is barely any spice in the first book, and there is spice in the second and third, but they're not just random. They're not like thrown in there for random purposes. I feel like they have a reason, and I think they're very well placed throughout the books. So definitely the plot actually matters and is interesting as opposed to it just being all spice. So yes, please pick it up, read it, and love it as much as I did. That is all for our long and in-depth recommendation video. Not even a recommendation video, but these are just iconic books in my opinion that you need to read, that will give you a lot of joy and happiness, and you will thank me for reading them. I said that phrase so many times in this video. Okay, I'm annoying myself with my own voice right now, but just read them. They're recommendations and even just inspiration. Maybe you saw this book and it reminded you of another book go pick it up and read it. I just want everyone to read and be happy. I think that a lot of people don't read enough in the 21st century, in 2023, and I can't press enough the benefits of reading, and I hope that you'll pick up a book after watching this video and read it, even if it's not one of these books. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have an amazing day and an amazing week and an amazing time reading.